All right, sorry for the delay. Let's go ahead and get the first round underway. Plan left for this round is going to go from South George all the way past Yasnaya straight to the beach area. So not too good of a plane line for our first round, but it should get some pretty decent plane drops right across the middle, though. If anybody ends up wanting to go to military, definitely going to have to drop to a vehicle on that one. So let's go ahead and get this underway. First zone is going to go ahead and shift partly to military base, but mostly contain the center portion of the main island. We do have a couple teams close together. Up here at Kameshki, we are going to have packs as well as, let me pull up my teams list, and Sexy AF. So currently it does look like everybody should have all their members still standing. Uh, Looks like Hack's going to go ahead and steal all the vehicles away from these guys and go ahead and make their rotation out. Fortunately, Lewis going to be the only one left standing back here. Hopefully he can get to that Dacia and go ahead and rotate out before Team 17 decides to go ahead and push forward. In the meantime, I'm going to head over here and check in with Meeseeks. They're currently going to be pairing off against Team 11, which is going to be Beyond All Nature. So Hilo gonna go ahead and jump off the building right there. I'm not sure if he noticed that there's like two dudes literally right next to him. All they had to do was pop their head out that little window right there where Mercury is, and it would have been all said and done for him. So here comes some shots from Gunner. He's gonna land some onto Hilo. He's going ahead and go ahead and cross the streak to meet back up with God's Eye. They're gonna go ahead and jump in that UAZ. Get the fuck out of here as quickly as possible. You can see the whole entire team swarming in, trying to place the shots as they try to get out, and it does look like they're gonna do so successfully. So hopefully we can go ahead and see those guys later in game. But right now, with as big as the circle is, and since we didn't have like three teams show up, it's going to be a little light until the later zones. So I'm just going to go ahead and check in with one team real quick. Let's go ahead over here to Pachinki, and I will be back in just a second, guys. I'm just going to grab something to drink. So zone finally coming in. Hopefully we can get some of these teams pushing closer together so we can get some fighting. We almost had some at the very beginning, but as you guys saw, people ended up jumping into vehicles and just getting out of there in the nick of time before potentially losing anyone. We're going to go ahead and check in with one of the players from DN1. Unfortunately, they do run into a compound that one of the hit squad members currently occupying the building. So they're going to run up by themselves and unfortunately end up being taken out. So here comes Hit Squad. They're going to roll in on the one member for DN1. They're going to go ahead and get the knock and the thirst right there. So that's going to leave them, unfortunately, down to just two members for the rest of this round. So in the meantime, I'm going to rotate over here to Imagine Esports real quick. I do see Hacks rotating into the general area. They're going to continue to rotate to the Pachinki area and stop the compound just in between. So all our members, fortunately enough, make it over there in one piece. They do take just a little bit of damage from some of the members right here from Imagine Esports. Other than that, let's just see where this circle ends up shifting to, and I believe that will probably get us the action. It's pretty much just going to centralize up right here in the center. We're still going to have pretty much all the farm, Pachinki still in this one, and a little bit of school. Other than that, we're going to have really all the beach compounds open at this point, so probably going to be a struggle for teams rotating right there in the center to go ahead and gain some territory pretty early on this one. Me personally, I'd probably go on the outskirts of farm, big compound right there in the center with that useless building. Not really too sure how else to explain that one, but for all you guys, I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about when it comes to that compound. Welcome to the stream, guys. I think I forgot to post the link in the chat. I just saw one of the Twitch notifications pop up even though I'm not streaming over there. So I'm seeing a knock come out from ADP. Let me rotate over to these guys real quick. Does look like Laser has unfortunately met up with these guys and has gotten into a little pinch right here. He's going to be outnumbered, I believe, 4-1. So they're going to go ahead and move in, get the thirst onto him. They are going to have a little bit of shots put down range onto them from the rest of the team over there on that beach compound. Looks like, Phoenix and Clown going to be the only ones over there at this point. And they are landing a bunch of good mini shots right there from Bot Knock onto Clown on the left-hand side. So I'm assuming they're going to jump in that vehicle, go ahead and push off of that one. So let's go ahead and check in with Phoenix. He's going to go ahead and try to push up, get that revive off before they go ahead and crash the compound. Phoenix ends up getting a knock onto one, but unfortunately, numbers usually tend to win fights, so ends up getting knocked by quite a few guys right there. And actually, I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at Discord real quick. Fortunately enough, he did get Clown back up, so at least that'll give them somewhat of a fighting chance. Gonna be chilling right here on the stairs, trying to play some shots as they try to go ahead and progress up. And I believe Bot not going to come out with another knock onto him. This time it is going to be a final for that team. So good job to those guys over there. I believe they're going to go ahead and get themselves, I believe, at least 3 kills from what I remember counting. So let's go ahead and check in over here with Hacks now. They're currently going to be taking on Team 13. As you can see, one of the players currently already knocked. Did get a knock in return onto Freeze. And Mike going down now as well. Where is Peachy? So fortunately enough, they do have the 2 players still standing. FaZe is the only one currently still up for Outplay Esports right now. Let's see if Peachy can go ahead and move in and get the knock, and it's going to happen, and that's going to be it for the rest of those guys. So hopefully we can see Hacks later in the end game on this one. I believe they did lose one player from their team during that exchange, so it's kind of like a trading game. I kind of talked a little bit on it on Tuesday. It's basically what the pros call trading. Um, one person will be at the off angle, kind of throw themselves out there to get everybody to basically peak. You want to go knock for knock is basically what you would call trading. And when you get more than just one on top of that, that's generally when your team starts to dominate the other one. So it's a little tricky to get used to first, but the more you tend to trade off, the more success your team will potentially be in the long run. So it's a strategy I've actually been trying to practice a lot more as of recently. And unfortunately, I believe Spicy is going to get that Dacia stuck. Not too user friendly when you go over the rough terrain, just like the Murado over there on. Wow, I can't even remember the name of the map, Miramar. I cannot stand driving the Murado on that map at all. Unfortunately, if I do get it and it's the only vehicle I can find, I tend to stick just to the streets. What's up, Calliope? How you doing? So we're going to see a shift up to the north onto our next zone. We're probably going to see a fight for the compounds right there around Potato Hill directly in the center. I do assume at least one team is going to go for Potato itself. But we'll go ahead and see in a little bit who that is going to be. With it being dead center, I assume they'd want to go ahead and get that one pretty early. Here's some vehicles rotating in, but definitely them just hopping in theirs. So from what I can tell, it looks like it's going to be Team Prodigy going for Potato Hill and going to run almost directly into Sexy AF during that rotation. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to fix my mic. I went to restart my computer earlier and for some reason it just didn't reset all the way. And now my Stream Deck mic is not wanting to work with the button. So let's see if this thing, oh, well, it's still not working. So I'm probably going to have to reset my computer when it's all said and done. I'll just have to use OBS to mute my mic in between games. Oh, Robin, can I get the charger from you? So I'm going to go ahead and rotate up here to the north now, check in with Unknown Alpha. They're in the general vicinity right now of Imagine Esports, so I'm wondering if these two are going to end up facing off. You can hear some shots coming up from them as we speak, and we are going to see DN1 directly above these guys. I'm not sure if they are going to come down these hills or not. Let me go ahead and check in with them. And it does look like they're going to be at the garage compound just above, so they'll probably just be chilling there for a little bit to go ahead and see where zone ends up shifting to next. So they're going to get their vehicle tanked up just a little bit, but really nothing too serious. They're going to be able to get to the zone with absolutely no issues. For a second, I thought it looked like they are going to go ahead and stop and potentially try to gatekeep the hacks from rotating in. So it looks like Hit Squad has decided to go ahead and play end zone right here. Or sorry, not end zone, edge zone. Uh, Wondering when Hex is gonna go ahead and make the rotation. They're only gonna have about 20 seconds to do so before the zone starts moving in. The majority of our team's gonna be right now on the northern side. We're still waiting for the couple teams to rotate in from the east, and we are seeing some knocks come out right here onto Mark for Death. So let me go ahead and check in with these guys real quick. How many members are they currently down? And it does look like Omega and Funny have been eliminated from this round. So Team Prodigy has decided to go ahead and come in for the third party, and this one's going to get a knock onto one of the players from ADP right here. And I believe they're also going to get the thirst, so that's going to cause a little bit of a slowdown right here in the push forward. And the real question is, are they going to continue to do so, or are they going to end up backing off? From what I can tell, it looks like they've actually decided to back off a little bit, go back and just meet back up with each other. I think they've only got a duo still standing for the rest of this round, so probably a smart idea. We're going to go ahead and see Team Prodigy go ahead and push forward and meet up with their other buddy down here to go ahead and provide some protection to him as well. Let's see what Legit does right here. Is going to continue driving into the zone, and it's going to be right here on a Team Prodigy. He's going to go ahead and jump out of the vehicle, tries to make the long rotation around the rock, and ends up getting shot in the back. Exile going to go ahead and prone right here at the very crest of this hill, trying to land those shots right there on Symphony, thinking he was going to go ahead and overextend just a little bit and try to take advantage of it. Smart call, go ahead and back off on his part just a little bit. But here comes the reinforcements. They're all going to go ahead and push forward together. They're going to trade a knock for a knock right there. Ends up getting a second one onto Exile. And there comes the thirst. So this is going to make it an uneven matchup. Hopefully, Beyond All Nature can go ahead and get themselves some knocks and some thirst, get themselves some points, and now Valkyrie going down as well, and it is all down to Gunner, and the rest of the team is just right there, just unloading as many bullets as possible to go ahead and take them down. Other than that, let's go ahead and check in with Hit Squad over here, see what's going on with these guys. It does look like Larbear is currently knocked, and it is all just going to be down to Buffer Eyes. Fortunately enough, he does have that DP. Well, take that back. He's going to get third-partied from Team Prodigy over to the left-hand side. And here comes DN1 rotating right up through exactly where they were and is going to pile in right over Team 23. Oh, he's going to play that one just a little too aggressive to be by himself and is going to end up paying the price for it. And I believe he ends up getting maybe one knock right there on the Swallow, but Enrique is right there to go ahead and get the knock in return. So in the meantime, I'm going to head back over here to Team Prodigy once again. We do see one of the members for DN1. I believe that's the last one currently standing for them is going to be at the very bottom of the hill coming up directly below them. And Team Prodigy is going to go ahead and swarm in right now on Sexy AF, trying to take down the last standing member. And it is going to go to flank, landing those bullets right there onto Alex T to take them out of this round. So that's currently going to put us at our final 7 teams for this round. I believe we're going to have a solo for DN1, solo for Team 23, which is Reaper Company, and so we still have a full team for Team Prodigy. Solo for Mark for Death, a duo for ADP. How many are still standing over here for these guys? Trio for Imagine Esports, and I think we got 2 more, and that's going to be Mobile Warriors with a duo over to the right-hand side. So where's this next one going? So Team Prodigy gonna get the zone onto this one. Their zone luck from this week and last week is absolutely ridiculous. So that's going to be it right there for Enrique. Currently, I do see one of the players for Team 20 down at the bottom of the hill. I'm not sure who got the knock onto that one. I did not see it come through the kill feed, but I do believe they're most likely going to go ahead and bleed out right here behind the tree. I'm assuming Team Prodigy got the knock onto them. And here comes the flank around from Mark for Death, and that's going to be it for them. And Mobile Warriors does take down the rest of Imagine Esports right here. It's pretty good, though. They didn't lose one of their players on that exchange, and with that, ADP is going to go out as well. So Mobile Warriors has now secured themselves at least second place on this one. Final's going to be a 3v2, so let's see what these two teams can do. So that's going to go ahead and give their position away. I'm expecting the rest of the team to go ahead and aim down the sights over in this direction. Down goes Atchy to first, and it is all going to be on the shoulders of Mystic. So Team Prodigy going to go ahead and win our first round tonight, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and take some in-game pictures really quick and then go ahead and get the next lobby set up. So stay tuned. Codes will be out momentarily. Hi guys, welcome back for round number two. Plane line for Miramar today is going to go from Valadimar, just below Impala. So pretty much the whole northern side of this map is going to be completely useless. So a lot of the times I do see zones sticking around the like Picado power grid area. A lot of the times I still keep Las Leonas in it for quite a few zones after the initial pop. So see how many teams end up staying right here around the middle area. I usually don't see them heading up to the north near Campo Militar or anything like that. So I really don't kind of see anybody jump up there anyways. We may be getting a couple teams heading to Monte Nuevo. And it kind of looks like everybody's just going to stick around the plane line on this one. So, as far as I can tell, two teams heading to the Monte Nuevo area. So, let me see how close they are actually together. So this is going to be Mark for Death as well as Imagine Esports. So Mark for Death is landing in kind of late, which is going to put them at a potential loss right here very early. So Funny going to go down, and hopefully the rest of the team can go ahead and get some weapons before being taken out. It's never a boring day on Trovo. It seems like every single time I stream, I have to ban at least two people. So in the meantime, let me go ahead and rotate out of here. Let's go down to Los Leones and check in with all the teams that landed down here. From what I can tell, this is going to be Hacks. Who else? Team 14, which is going to be Carbon. And I thought I saw at least one more yet. They're going to be all the way off to the other end. And that's also going to be Illusion X. So I'm seeing a nod come out from Outplay Esports over here. Two of their members currently thirsted. And let's see if we can go ahead and catch the rest of it on stream. How many of these guys start off with? So fortunately enough, Beyond All Nature does have all four members still up. So they're at just a little advantage over these guys, just numbers wise. Did see Mark for Death coming out with a knock up here at Monte Nuevo. Uh, it looks like they ended up getting their member back up, and we're gonna see a third party over here on the Imagine Esports. Who is this? So this is going to be Sexy AF. They're currently going to be running up through the oil refinery stairs looking for these guys, and they've basically just decided to traverse the mountainside over here, and Demon barely gets off the side and just gets shot in the back. So they're going to go ahead and chuck a nade down. It just happened to not be timed short enough and ends up getting the bounce and pushing away. So they are going to get one more knock right there, but the rest of the team has now flanked back around and they're going to be coming up right above these guys. So there is the potential of coming back from this, but it looks like they're just going to be a little too late. So it was quite a long trek around that mountainside to come up right through the stairs, everything like that. But Vipe's going to be right here, priming the nade, see if he can get a knock. And gets one. So definitely playing this one smart. They don't want to overextend and basically show any body parts so they can't get any HP taken away from them. That's the one mistake I see people make time after time is just overextending instead of just being patient and letting something work out. So they may get that revive off if they go ahead and wait this one out any longer. You can see Vipes has got tired of waiting, so he's gone ahead and jumped down. Has the shot there on the backside, gets the re-knock onto him. Does land quite a bit of damage right there onto Alex to go ahead and force him to retreat too. So he's going to go ahead and start pushing up, put them into a bad spot right here. And don't forget, guys, Tommy is right above them, so he does have the help at least. Thirst's going to go down now as well. It is just going to be down to Alex. Let's see what he can do right here in the 2v1. Tommy's going to go ahead and jump down, and I believe... Who got that one? That one's going to go to Vibes. Vibes got the squad wipe. So very nice job to those guys, but let's go ahead and try to get some other stuff. Team Prodigy going to go ahead and move in right here. Does get the knock and the thirst onto Enrique. Rowan going down as well. Where is the rest of this team at? Uh, So Astra gonna go ahead and climb up the stairs. Not sure if got some kind of oversight onto these guys over here, but gonna be split up just a little bit far away from the rest of the team. It might be a little bit before these teams kind of meet up. At least Zone's gonna go ahead and be hitting shortly, forcing these guys to go ahead and push together much quicker. So let's go ahead and check in over here with DN1. They are going to be rotating right past Impella as we speak. And Unknown Alpha going to be right here below these guys, but not sure if they're going to be able to get the opportunity to go ahead and play some shots on them. So zone once again for our second is going to go ahead and center up. This one's going to pertain all of Los Leones. Um, Pretty much zone I called right off the bat. I don't know why it prefers this one quite a bit, but I see this zone a lot. So the next part is the tricky one. I've seen it do all different things after this, so it could be a 50-50 shot. This one's either going to come down to the very tip of Los Leones right there on the northwestern side, or this one's going to go towards the Picado area. So here comes a knock. This one's coming from an Axu and gonna be a double knock right here onto Mobile Warriors. I do kind of think that Team Prodigy is gonna go ahead and pile into their vehicles, go ahead and push off of that. Here they come. So it's definitely the rule of them guys. You push off of two knocks, and unfortunately, they do lose control into their buggy, forcing them to get a knock right there really early in this push. It's going to be a double knock right there from Ashy over here onto the right-hand side. And Mystic is now back up too. Or was it? I'm not even sure who was knocked now. So he gets the thirst on the flank, ends up going right up here against the one player, and that is gonna be it. Mobile Warriors did put up a very good fight right there, and almost pretty much took complete advantage right there of Team Prodigy when they wrecked all of their vehicles right there on the little like crevice, throwing them way out of balance. So here comes the third party from Meeseeks across the street, and I believe God's Eye going to get a knock onto one of them. And as you can see, here comes Hyla going to go ahead and meet up with the team. Not sure if they're going to go ahead and decide to push off that one. I would probably highly recommend not to. If you don't do it right away, it really defeats the purpose. So at least they did get the knock. They do have position inside of the zone, so they really don't have to rotate just yet. But you never know. They could get zoned for the next couple times with the position they're at. And I do love these are my two favorite buildings inside of Miramar. I absolutely love that concrete structure right there to the left hand side. Both of these right here are awesome when it comes to loot. So I might just stay over here with these guys since we're really not having a whole lot go on. Breezy coming out with the knock right there with the Mini 14 onto one of the members over there from Team Prodigy. So from what I'm seeing through the kill feed, one of the real ghost players, I'm guessing, accidentally knocked themselves with a nade. Not sure what's going on up here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and double check what exactly is going on. I'm not seeing anybody around them. They don't have any kills, so I'm wondering if it just happened to be a mishap or they could be just playing games with each other. Um, that's one thing I highly recommend for teams. Don't take it way too serious. You end up doing way worse than actually just goofing around and having fun. That's the one main thing I've noticed about every comp team I've ever played on. The more fun you have in the game, the better your results tend to be. I don't exactly know why. I guess because it's more like free flowing, nonchalant kind of stuff like that. You're not like forcing things to happen. So Outplay Esports going up high for the high ground over the top right here of Beyond All Nature. They're really not going to have an exit point from these compounds with the high ground that they currently have up there. And I'm not seeing a vehicle for these guys either. So it's going to be a tough rotation away if they end up having to do so. Um, they might have all the cars up there. They tend to spawn quite a few of them on that road just around those compounds. And then all down here, there's usually maybe one at the very bottom of Hacienda over there. So that's going to be quite a long run to go ahead and get some transportation. So in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and see zone center up right on this one. We're going to have all of Picado as well as a little bit of Las Leonas. So compounds right there in the very center, some small ones. You can see hit squad's got her and basically dead center on this one. Let me go ahead and see which compound they've decided to choose. And if it ever renders in. I'm wondering if I need to delete some stuff off my phone or something. I feel like the last 2 days my phone has been dropping frames like crazy, and I don't know why. So Real Goat's going to be rotating in. Let me go ahead and check in with these guys really quick. And it does look like they're going to go ahead and eliminate that team rather quickly. In the meantime, let's go ahead and check back in with ADP real quick. And it does look like they're going to go ahead and crash the compound Hit Squad currently occupies and ends up paying the price for it. But I believe they do get one knock and a bunch of HP damage on the other. So at least they put up a pretty good fight on the crash in. It just came down to numbers. They only had 2 members off the bat, and it just kind of played out. So I'm going to rotate over here to Team 14, which is going to be Carbon. Just on top of the buildings in front of us is going to be DN1. And they're fortunate enough to have the high ground on this one, but they're definitely not going to want to overextend being on top of that rooftop like that. There's only that one small box for cover, and with Hayram all the way back there with kind of the overview on the top, it's really not too safe to be up there. So I'd probably split between at least 2 of these and just get multiple different angles, because as you can see, it does look like Danny's coming in for the flank around the back. In comes Kari now, gets the knock on a knockout, and now the knock onto Brit, so it is all just going to be down to Canada. So he's coming out with the nade right there, gets a double knock, and there comes the Thirst with one as well. And can he take Danny out with that? And it's going to take a major HP loss, so barely going to get crawled away to get that revive off. So Ghost Rider is still alive up there on the top. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get away with Hayram right there, aiming down the sights, placing some shots at him. Well, I don't think that was meant to actually happen, but I guess it did work. Canada gets the knock onto one and almost gets the other one, just happens to not have enough help right there to go ahead and get things done. So Astra ends up getting knocked over here. Teammate's going to throw out some smokes, and I believe they are going to be taking on Team Prodigy. And I do see Meeseeks coming in from the left-hand side. I think they're going to go ahead and crash the compound just over the bridge over there. Unfortunately, that is outside of the zone by quite a bit. I'd probably go ahead and rotate around to the short side. It does look quite a bit open. And I do see a solo off to the right as well, so that could be a little kink right there if they don't see him. Solos definitely hurt quite a bit. They tend to snake in the grass. I mean, it's not a horrible strategy, but just trying to get some placement points. And what happens is teams just run by them, not knowing they're there. They end up standing up, taking down one or two, getting the thirst like pretty much instantly. And it's not something you can account for because most people, when they go ahead and put out like strategies, everything like that, they're basing it all off of like pro team strats and everything like that. But when it comes to like T2, T3, T4, it's not something that's easily planned for. It's how how do you put this correctly? It's not the same every single time. So there's always going to be a wrench thrown into a gear somewhere. People aren't going to do exactly what you think they are. People are going to be hiding in spots you normally don't see, and it just kind of makes for sometimes harder, even though it's not as hard because it's completely different strategies. And like I said, people always base their strategies off of T1 stuff, which when it comes to other tier scrims, it doesn't work out too well. So if these guys right here do play it safe, I'm not sure if Sour is making any kind of movements. Well, there we go. There's going to be the movements right there to give the giveaway of his location. Um, Normally, my recommendation for anybody, if you know it is a solo anywhere, you don't hear any other footsteps, you only hear the one, form your team around that whole entire person, take them out, get your points, take their position, whatever. Um, Definitely want to go ahead and smoke to go ahead and cross out with that team being there. This zone, unfortunately, did shift away from them. They're definitely going to have to take Sour up before they go ahead and make any movements forward. I normally don't recommend to ever fight inside the blue zone unless it is blocking your way to go ahead and rotate forward. Unfortunately, Sour is going to be doing so, and like I said earlier, guys, you can never plan for what a solo is going to do. It's just one of those tricky situations that you just have to like evolve around and learn from your mistakes. So Hex is going to go ahead and take down the last member of her hit squad over here. They're going to be literally right on the edge of zone. They're going to have the warehouse in, so they really shouldn't have a whole far ways to go. And let's go ahead and check back in over here with Unknown Alpha. They're going to be going against the solo over here. Guru going to be taking too much damage, and he ends up getting the squad wipe. So sometimes zone damage can go ahead and work with you, but unfortunately, he didn't really have anywhere to go. He would have been shot in the back as well. So he did play it smart. Went ahead and stood his ground, got himself, what, 4 kills right there, and just happened to not have enough time to go ahead and heal. So it's just, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Sometimes you can do it, sometimes you can't. I definitely never recommend to, if at all possible. But in that exact situation, neither of those two teams could have gone ahead and rotated forward without taking that fight. And that's honestly the only time I will ever recommend to pick a fight in the blue zone like that. So on top of the hill, I am seeing some damage done to Hacks. Asterisk going to be eliminated from this round. I believe that one is going to be going to Beyond All Nature over here. So currently these guys rocking 7 kills this round. Exile trying to spray through the smoke right there with that 4 times. So that right there, guys, that one situation, there are 3 situations that I honestly ever recommend to use aim assist. Spraying through the smoke like that, number one, always highly number one, spraying through smoke. Turn the aim assist on. You can get your team that lucky knock, especially right at the end. It can be an absolute game changer. So if you guys normally don't run aim assist, I would highly recommend practicing when to turn it on and when to turn it off. Snaking in the final zone, definitely the number 2 time you want to go ahead and turn it on. You want to get those lucky shots through the grass to go ahead and basically make it so your team can go ahead and rotate forward or even take out the last 1 to 2 guys. Other than that, if you see a vehicle going ahead and rotating by and you just have trouble like tracking them, if you don't have your sensitivity is absolutely perfect, you can get some crazy lucky knocks coming out from aim assist, just aiming down onto vehicles. So those are the only 3 situations I ever recommend to even use it. Other than that, I prefer to have it off. I find it a lot easier to kill people. So, after my rant right there, guys, this now puts us down to our final three teams. We're going to see an entire team right there for Real Goats. We're going to have a trio for Mark for Death, and how many for Beyond All Nature? They're going to be a trio as well. So, Mega going to come out with a knock over here onto one of the members for Real Goats. And really, nobody's going to have this zone. I believe Beyond All Nature are going to be the closest ones to it. But both of these teams, like I said earlier, guys, they're going to have to go ahead and face off before they go ahead and rotate forward. There's no arguing about the situation. Um, if one of them tries to go before the other, they're going to end up dying. Here comes Legit rotating forward, and he's most likely going to be taken down and just happens to find that little dip right there at the very end. So Legit goes ahead and heals up. And can he get into the zone? And he does make it. So he is going to be the final one still standing for his team. So smart choice right here, guys, would be to let these two teams go ahead and battle it out and just get his team a second place finish in this one. Low key is going to be knocked. And does he get thirsted by the zone or does he get in? It's going to be it. Gunner's going to go ahead and thirst that one, get the free kill from the zone knot, and going to take Manny down right after that. So it's just going to be down to Andy. Andy now goes down as well, so it is only up to No Mercy. So I really hope he's priming that. Oh, he is. This could be good. So it's just going to be too far to the right-hand side. Here comes the push forward from No Mercy. It's going to be a 3v1. He does get a knock onto Exile, so it's going to be just a two-man up right there. Here comes the push forward from Legit. They are hearing these footsteps over on this left-hand side, so they're going to move over and investigate, and they end up taking him down. So he just misses second place by like 5 seconds right there. So we're going to go ahead and see Beyond All Nature go ahead and win our second round. Real Good's going to go out in second, and not too far behind them is going to be Mark for Death in third. So we're going to take a short break once again, guys. Go ahead and get round 3 set up. We are going to be playing Sandhawk next round, so stay tuned, and we will be right back. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get round 3 underway. And we are going to get a plane line for this round going from Camp Bravo all the way down to, what is that, Nakam? I don't think I've ever fucking been there. So as far as I can tell, only one team heading to the boot camp area, nobody heading to Paradise, which is actually quite surprising. And is anybody landing together anywhere else? We may see two teams facing off up there at the Hatin area. So we're going to go ahead and check in with first. This is going to be, I believe, Outplay Esports. And where is Team 10? Burn in Silence. So red going to be the first one knocked over here for these guys. And Faye's going down as well, so it's going to be 2 knocks right off the bat. Thank you for the follow, Queen. So I believe this is Burn in Silence. So they're going to get a double knock right there. Ends up getting the third. Both those going to go to Mike. And we're going to see their last player go ahead and push up. He's going to get shots on Freeze in the back. Ends up getting the knock on him with the Uzi. Tries for the thirst, but Mike right there to go ahead and place some cover shots. And ends up landing quite a few onto him. So he's going to go ahead and push forward. Ends up going for the thirst. And nice little duck maneuver. Just happens to not get it done quick enough, and FaZe ends up getting the knock and the thirst onto him. So that is going to be it for Burn in Silence for this round, but definitely nice attempt onto their part. Where is Meeseeks? Well, it's not going to let me shift out. So they did get a knock onto Hilo, but it does look like they're going to go ahead and reign triumphant over them. They do get, 1 kill, so I'm assuming the rest of the team is going to be quite far away. Yeah, so the rest of Team 23 is going to be quite some distance away. It does look like they were going for the split loot rotation and happened to just be caught off guard by a trio from Meeseeks. Thank you, Clock. So Mark for Death going to be in the Ruins area. As you can see, Thrive has gone ahead and pushed forward. Lewis is going to be set back just a little bit. And Easy going to be running into the compounds at the very northwest edge. So shot's going to come out. As far as I can tell, nothing ended up landing. So that's definitely going to give their position away. I'm not sure if Mark for Death even had any clue that they had some competition over here. And Easy tries to go ahead and backtrack across the open field right here and ends up paying the price for it. I believe Thrive going to end up getting the knock onto that one. And Peachy coming out with the knock onto Omega, I believe, catching him from that right-hand side. So Hack's pushing up aggressively. You can see Lewis has gone ahead and flanked around to the far right-hand side over there. or well, from our angle right here, it's going to be left-hand side, and possibly meet up with Legit all the way over to the side. He's going to be quite some distance away from Funny right here. In the meantime, let's go ahead and shift out of this one. Well, it does look like Lewis has gone ahead and got the knock onto him, and it's most likely going to go for the thirst, so it's just going to be down to Funny for this round. But in the meantime, I did see some more coming through the kill feed. I'm just trying to find where exactly it's at. It actually might be over now. Let me go ahead and check in with Enrique right here. So I'm guessing he was trying to drive a vehicle right here by Hit Squad and ends up going down. So I want to say at this point, it is just going to be down to Swallow for Team 23. Hopefully, he can go ahead and get some good placement points to put them onto the board. So in the meantime, we may see Swallow have to take on Meeseeks from what I'm seeing right here. Let me go ahead and check in with Paolo real quick. Want to see how close these guys are actually together. So Swallow's going to be pretty much on his flank, rotating in this direction. This is what I was talking about with the solo guys. Sometimes it's just hard to account for them. Is he gonna stay sculling or is he gonna pop out and take some shots? Believe he's gonna come out on God's Eye. And there it is. He's gonna go ahead and get the knock. Does he go for the thirst? Definitely would be a good idea to go ahead and get those points, given his position away like that. So what we're seeing right here, God's Eye is going to be marking the area, giving away the spot where Swallow currently occupies. He's going to go ahead and be shots landed right there by Hilo, forcing him to go ahead and evacuate that spot. And it does look like God's Eye is going to crawl to Breezy for the revive. And Swallow's going to go ahead and just heal up in the meantime. So let's rotate out of this one. Let's go ahead and check in with Hit Squad over here. Currently, they are down Clouds, and Homeboy is knocked. They are going to be taking on Team 15, which is Unknown Alpha. And Swallow taken down. Breezy gets the thirst over there, so literally as soon as we leave, ends up getting a kill. What is going on over here? I think Paolo might be AFK. But in other news, it does look like they eventually did find him, but I think it costed them one member of their team. Definitely unfortunate. Like I was saying earlier, guys, you can't account for a solo alive on a team. They're not going to be predictable. And Larbear's going to go ahead and take some shots right there in the back. And this is going to be coming from Unknown Alpha once again. So let's see how much time. We don't really have much time for this zone to go ahead and move in. As you can see, it is already moving. Hopefully Homeboy can go ahead and get them back up. Hopefully they got some heals to keep them in it. And I see some knocks coming out from Team Prodigy over here. So let me go ahead and check in with these guys real quick. They're currently going to be taking on Illusion X. Currently 2 members down for this team as we speak. And fortunately enough, they did get some knocks onto Team Prodigy, going ahead and slowing their push forward. Flank now going to go down as well. And he's going to get thirsted. So it's just going to be down to Symphony and I believe Axu. Now here we go with the left-hand flank from Symphony, looking just at the compounds. Has no idea that one of the players is directly above him, and Clown is gonna end up getting turned on right there. Had the advantage with the high ground and the early, I guess, visual on him, and just happens not to land the shots. So here comes the push forward from, what is that, C-Bot? It's going to be right on the tree. Axu is going to have the angle right here. All he has to do is lean to the left, and he will have a clear view on that one side of him. That's going to go ahead and force him out from the tree. They're going to go ahead and double team him right there. But he does end up getting the nade out in the meantime, get the knock onto Symphony. Hopefully his team can go ahead and get something going for them over here, help them out a little bit. But as you can see, guys, they're going to end up getting third-partied. And I believe Toxin ends up getting the knock onto one of them. That's going to slow them down a little bit, but they're going to be broken up into a duo pair. We're still going to see half the team rotating up the hill to go ahead and get the high ground above these guys. And some shots being landed onto Phoenix. Let's see if he can go ahead and get this. Well, never mind. It's going to get third party. And Toxin barely makes it out of there alive. But I do think Team Prodigy ends up losing synergy as well. So it's just going to be down to a solo for both of these teams. I'm going to go ahead and get a first-person view over here onto Toxin, and it's just going to be a double team. They're going to come in from both doorways and end up meeting him right there in the very center. Kind of interested to see what Axu ends up deciding to do in this situation. Technically, he could just chill here for a little bit, wait for the team to go ahead and rotate out since they're placing some shots on, I want to say Play Esports right here. They're going to be a little occupied right here with Mark for Death. Funny going to get a knock onto FaZe, but Red ends up landing the shots right there with the M7 through the window, ends up getting the knock on him in return. Here comes a push forward from DN1, and they do make it to the wall, and FaZe ends up not getting picked back up. Red ends up aborting that one. They're going to go ahead and push in. Here come the M7 shots, and FaZe is going to go ahead and bleed out. And just happens that Canada ends up getting the Car 9 shot, taking them out of this round. So they're not really going to have too far of a rotation to go. They're literally right on the edge of zone. If it wasn't for that shot, Thirst probably would have came out, and they may have been down a member. Other than that, what is that? Sexy AF is now going to be rotating onto this side. They're going to go ahead and push forward. Definitely hears these shots. Looking very aggressive tonight. I don't remember them playing like this last week. Out comes the knock on the Brit. They're going to go ahead and get the Thirst. Thirst ends up going down as we speak. And I believe a double knock coming out. That's going to land on Knockout and Canada. So it is all going to lie on Ghost Rider. So King going for the revive. The rest of the team is now going to go ahead and push forward. Unfortunately, that is going to go ahead and lock them outside of the zone. So they're going to go ahead and be taking damage as this is all happening. And we're going to go ahead and probably see some nades coming out any second now. And Knockout ends up pushing forward, ends up being taken down right there by Thirst. And Gab goes down now as well, and I believe that is going to be it for DN1. So let me rotate over here to Meeseeks now, see what's going on with these guys. Looking in the direction of Unknown Alpha, so we may see something going down between these two teams. But it does look like they're going to end up finding Mobile Warriors first. So they actually didn't even render in on my screen, which is actually kind of crazy. And here comes the third party. This is going to be coming from Hacks. They are going to take down one of the Mobile Warriors members. And Axu ends up coming up directly behind Meeseeks and taking out a last member right there. So he's going to go ahead and continue rotating in. Probably going to be coming up on the right-hand side of Hacks right there. So there is the potential from the third party from the solo. Definitely a tricky situation when it comes to a solo. You just have to think that much harder. And Well, hopefully, Beyond All Nature can go ahead and rotate forward into the zones. Not one you want to go ahead and take damage from, but the zone is like completely open. That's the thing about Sandhot, guys. It's pretty much straight running and gunning 100% of the time. So Thrive's going to go ahead and catch Coop outside of the zone, trying to heal up to make the rush forward. And they're going to go ahead and get the thirst onto him. I believe he ends up landing a good bunch, but Playzone ends up taking down the last little bit for him. It's just going to be down to, I believe, Ashy for those guys, and he's going to be over there kind of by that little like guard tower thing, just trying to heal up outside of the zone, and hopefully their attention happens to be taken away and onto another team so you can go ahead and rotate in. So with that, I believe we are down to our final six teams. We are looking at a trio off in the distance for Imagine Esports. Just besides them is going to be a trio for Beyond All Nature. Currently inside is going to be a whole team for Hacks. Hacks who's going to go ahead and try for the 1v4 right here. And ends up trying to do the basically jump shot overneath or over the top. He ends up standing up, landing the last couple shots with the Uzi, but fortunately enough, his teammates were right there to go ahead and pop him. Otherwise, that 100% would have been a thirst right there, and they would have been down one member. So currently, we're going to spectate in with Beyond All Nature. They are basically going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place. Nade coming out, going to get a knock on the skies. This one's going to go to Vipes on the right hand side, and he's going to go ahead and get the thirst right there with the M7. And they could pretty much sit back and gatekeep them from coming through. So they're definitely going to want to get to the zone. Like I said earlier, this is not the one you want to go ahead and take damage from. Even though he is a solo, literally one shot could go ahead and take each one of the members out once they go ahead and start taking that damage. So Tomy barely gets that heal off down to just 1 HP right there. It's going to go ahead and start having to book at the zone. And this is honestly the main reason, guys. I know getting kills in your mind, priority number one. Priority number one should always be this big ass blue thing that can kill you way faster than a whole entire team shooting on you. So I believe Mobile Warrior is going to go out to the play zone. So this now puts us down to our final three teams. Hack's going to be trolling the bridge area, whereas Sexy AF going to have the compounds directly in front of them. But just off to the right-hand side, uh, Imagine Esports is going to have the high ground. So the potential from them for the third party is going to be fairly high on this one. All of Team 17 is going to cross the street together. That is very, very, very ballsy. And here come the shots from Imagine Esports. And it does look like they might have landed some onto Gab. And Hacks, fortunately enough, does have the next zone as well. So does Sexy AF. Does no, even Imagine Esports isn't going to have to rotate either. So none of these teams are going to have to rotate for this next zone. But Demon coming out with the knock right there onto King with the AK. Fortunately enough, he's going to be right beside a teammate. So that's going to go ahead and get him back up really quick. And zone shifts once again. It's going to go out to the open field portion right here by the bridge. And Hack's going to be right inside of it. So all these teams going to have to travel in from the open, come right here towards Hacks. So hopefully they have a whole bunch of smokes to go ahead and break their lines of sight. Otherwise, it is going to be a very nasty rotation. So Curry is going to come out with a knock onto Astra. King getting a knock onto Demon. So that's a double knock right there for Sexy AF. And that's going to slow down both of these teams from aiming down the sights on them. Lewis going to be right there to go ahead and pick Astra back up. And I believe Demon going to go ahead and get picked up by Tomy as well. And that's going to be a double knock right there. Playzone does get a re-knock onto Demon. And I believe it is all now to Pipes. He's going to get the knock onto Thirst. And ends up getting the Thirst off. But Peachy's right there to go ahead and take him down in return. Let me get out of this. There we go. That's going to be a double knock right there. It is all now down to King. Oh, never mind. Down to Gab. And literally nothing but pre-fire on that doorway. So the second he went ahead and peeked, literally at least 2 people were full auto right on the doorway into his head. So guys, that's going to go ahead and end round number 3. And Hack's going to go ahead and get a 3rd round victory today. So stay tuned and we will be right back with round number 4. And we are going to be going back to Erangel. All right, guys, welcome back to our fourth and final round. Going to be coming back to Erangel, and our plane line going to go from Zarki all the way down to military. So definitely not a good line for this map. It's going to basically cut off quite a few drops over on the eastern side of the main island. The only thing I'm really looking forward to lately, I want updated Erangel 2.0. I've seen the videos Powerbank put out of the beta version of it, and all I gotta say is, holy shit, there is a massive difference between this one and that one. Like, I think my favorite part is literally everything renders in while you're on the plane. I don't know why we can't do that on this, unless they're trying to make us get so angry at this map when the new one comes out. It's like the holy grail. So that's the only thing I'm thinking. Just getting us used to something that sucks to come out something better. So here we're going to see all of Sexy AF landing at the compounds right here in front of Hacks. Not only that, but we are going to have, what is that, Imagine Esports over there at the other end. 3 teams landing here in Severny. Normally, you don't see this many teams landing here. Most I usually see is at least 2. So it's going to be a little tight for loot. Definitely not one of the biggest cities in this map. And unfortunately, as you guys see over there, Peachy is going to be cut off from the rest of the team. Blue is going to go ahead and get that UAZ away from them. And I believe they're just going to go ahead and pick their teammates up and make the rotation out of here. And here comes Sexy AF. They are pushing up very quick. King going to get knocked right there by Thrive. And Thrive takes down Thirst as well. Gab going to be coming from the right-hand side and takes him down as well. Can he go for the squad wipe? And gets it. Holy crap, dude. That was a very nice job right there. So it is much easier, guys, if a team rushes one by one, as you saw right there, rather than when a team rushes all at the same time. It makes it a hell of a lot easier for one person to go ahead and squad wipe an entire team when they rush, just like you saw right there. So that's definitely not how I recommend to get things done. Always wait that extra 1 to 2 seconds for the rest of your team before you go ahead and push up. So another thing that we see right here coming out from Hacks, guys, their reset was almost instantaneous. So they got over here to Peachy, literally reset as soon as they got over here, and then started unloading on Imagine Esports right here. So they started off with a knock, they move in for the Thirst, and the Astra's going to take the 1v1 right there, go ahead and take them down. So that's going to put Imagine Esports at a 2-man. What's up, Ozzy? How you doing? And Astra's going to go ahead and try to get across the street. Ends up being taken down by Tommy. And I believe Canada ends up accidentally knocking himself with the frag. After this one's all said and done, I promise I'll go ahead and check out some other stuff. Just want to finish what we started over here. So Thrive ends up getting knocked. Demon knocked in the top of the 3-story. So it's all down to Tommy, and the rest of the team moves in. And that is going to be it for them. Let's go ahead and rotate out of Severny. Hack's going to be the victors over there. I believe they're going to be coming out with 8 kills, 4 of those going to just Thrive. Let's head down here to Primorsk. Why is there 3 teams in Primorsk? There's never this many teams in Primorsk. So we're going to be looking at Mark for Death, Beyond All Nature, and DN1 Frag. Did they lose one? So I'm guessing Canada ended up being taken out by one of the other players over here. Let's go ahead and check in with them and see who exactly got it. Nobody. I guess it. What? I'm not really too sure what happened. I know he knocked himself, but I didn't see him dying. So Funny ends up taking some shots right there from Valkyrie. Ends up getting the knock. I'm not sure if they have the range to go ahead and get that knock, because as you can see from his view, there is going to be that slight little dip on that side of the hill right there. So legit going down as well. And Sky's going to go ahead and get the finish onto Funny. Legit does get picked back up. He's going to go ahead and retreat to the backside of the hill. Hopefully Easy can go ahead and follow his line back so it doesn't end up being picked off as well. And we're going to see Omega coming out with the DP right here. Gets the double knock coming on to Gunner and a Valkyrie. So I believe, what, it's just down to Skies for this team? Yes, it is. Not sure where Exile is, though. Hopefully coming this way. So Exile is on military base, so quite some distance. Definitely not going to be able to pick that one up anytime soon. So coming out from Omega once again, landing some shots right there onto Skies. And here comes the zone. Hopefully these teams have some vehicles. I do know Primorsk sometimes is kind of hard to find some. Fortunately enough, there is the motorcycle right there. Sometimes there's one up that road or at the log camping over here. I may even get lucky and there's one all the way on the very, very back road. But a lot of the times, none of these will spawn, and then you got to run all the way to the warehouses, all the way back over the hills over there by Quarry, just to find a buggy. So it's definitely a very long trek. I used to like Primorsk. I did use it as one of my drops in the very first season of ESL, but because of the whole vehicle problem and not really spawning there 100% of the time, definitely couldn't choose that one as a primary drop. So Exile does luckily make it through DN1 right here. It does make it to the other compounds just down the road. Thank you, Clay. I try my best. In the meantime, let's head over here to Team 10. And this is going to be Burn in Silence. So basically what they're shooting for, which I assume at this point is going to be well, I'm guessing they're going to school. With this zone, it's about to pop and go ahead and shift. So if I were any of these teams, I'd probably wait. And we're going to go ahead and see pretty much center up onto shelter. So if I were to choose where I would go off of this zone personally, it'd probably be Walmart, the compound right to the left of it, or you're going to see the compounds right here at the fork in the road. Any of those three in this zone would probably be perfect, as well as shelter itself. You can go ahead and use the insides for some cover when vehicles and everything roll up, or you can use the actual jut outs from the mountainside to go ahead and give you that cover, and you can go ahead and peek back and forth from side to side, and definitely makes for some very good cover. So I'm going to head over here to DN1 real quick. As you can see off in the distance is going to be marked for death. And is it just going to be one? Easy doesn't hurry up. They could potentially land some shots onto him. I know they probably want that US that he's got. So he is now going to get away. They should have definitely taken some shots right there, though. And thank you for the follow, Junior. Let's go ahead and check in with Burn and Silence right here as they go ahead and crash into Team Prodigy. And with that one, Chico's going to go ahead and get a knock with the vehicle run over right there. But I believe Axu's going to be right there to go ahead and get a knock in return onto Radic. And Chico goes down as well. Axu going to follow in return. And I think Flank goes down too. Where is their final teammate? So here comes Sour. And hopefully he's got some heals to go ahead and get this one back up. He's going to hear that vehicle coming in. So it's looking like they're both going to go for the revive off the bat. Let's see what happens after this. The general rule of thumb is to go for the straight push, but they're going to come out with some frags, and that's going to go ahead and cause them to go ahead and stop the revive, and it does get a thirst onto Symphony. So Loki is going to be just too far off on the side, ends up over extending just a little bit. So Redick going down, out comes the nade, just going to be a little too short. If it would have just been a little bit farther, it would have potentially rolled down that hill. We're going to see some knocks coming out from Meeseeks right here, so I'm going to go ahead and check in with them. They are definitely third-partying Team Prodigy really bad right here, and that is going to be the squad wipe. And I want to say at least two of those going to Breezy, one going to God's Eye, and I think the other one going to Hilo, I believe. So let's go ahead and check in with Unknown Alpha right here. I do see a knot coming out onto DN1 frag. So let's go ahead and see how this situation unfolds for these guys. Spicy going to go ahead and switch to the cannon site right there to go ahead and get a better visual on these guys. Smoke going to come out to provide them some cover fire. And Knockout going to go down. It is down to just Sprit and ends up being shot in the back. Let's go back up here, checking in with these guys. So zone gonna go ahead and center up right here onto shelter. It's definitely gonna be the prime territory. But in the meantime, let me go ahead and check in with Team 21 over here. They are gonna be coming up on the backside of Mobile Warriors, and they do have all three members still up, but only a solo right here. So probably a good idea not to give that position away. But where is the rest of this team? So they're actually going to be quite deeper into the zone. So hearing some DP shots come out right here from Rowan. Those are going to be downrange over there at well, let me pull my team list back up. I think that's Outplay Esports from what I remember correctly. Thank you for the follow Nova as well as Devihead. Put me closer to my goal of 300 followers. So that's, in my opinion, not really too bad for like a month and a half. So if Rowan is not careful, God's that right there on this well, I was gonna say if he's looking in that direction, but out comes a knock. They're gonna go ahead and have to pick Rowan back up. And basically, what happened there, if he continued what he was doing when I was spectating him in earlier, it's basically just overextending. You tend to peak for a very long, extended period of time, giving them the opportunity to go ahead and get that one shot knock. So, my recommendation is always go ahead and take a couple shots, knock, lay down, do whatever, go ahead and reload. Do the same thing over and over and over. Never stand up for more than just like a second or two. Always get right back down. So zone is now going to go ahead and shift to the eastern side. We're going to go ahead and see literally nobody in the zone at all. Real Goat's going to be the only ones on the very western side of it. So Meeseek's going to have a very good opportunity to go ahead and get any position they want. So that's the other thing, guys. If zone ends to go ahead and shift away from you, I don't recommend to go ahead and wait unless somebody's blocking your way from going forward. So early rotations tend to get the best places if people aren't there already. So that's the one thing you have to be wary of. But Meeseek's going to go ahead and get the prime spot right here in the dead center. Thank you for the follow over there on Twitch, Knockout. So Mark for Death going to be rotating in from the north, legit possibly coming in right behind what is that? Born in Silence? I don't or Burn in Silence, sorry about that. And zone's about to hit. This one's gonna go back up to the shelter area. Misi's gonna have a very good spot in this one. All they really have to do is sit here in this guard shack and wait for everybody to start making their rotations in from the south. And thank you for the follow, Johnny. Hack's going to go ahead and drive right past them. Do they end up losing anybody out of the vehicle? And it does look like they're going to be lucky, but they're heading right into burn in silence. So they're going to go ahead and hop out of the vehicle before any more shots get landed on it. As you can see, it is already smoking. Definitely not going to take too many more. Freeze coming out with a knock on to Reaper. Chico going down right here to Lewis. And where is the rest of Hacks, or is it just these two? So Astra going to be the final one up for these guys. Hopefully they can go ahead and get Lewis back up to go ahead and make a duo for these guys. Otherwise, it'll definitely be a tough end zone for them. Hollow's going to go ahead and take their transportation out of this one. Real Goats is going to go ahead and move up. I believe No Mercy currently knocked for these guys, but they're going to have really no time to go ahead and get that revive off. Zone has now gone ahead and started rotating in. Where is the rest of the team? Uh, they could have probably got that revive off. They had a lot of time. Here comes Team 21 rolling in. They're going to try to take some shots onto them as they pass by. And they're going to run right into Reaper Company right here. And they're going to have no choice. They end up bailing out down into prison. But prison is not the place I ever recommend to go. There's only one way in and one way out. It's definitely a giant bottleneck. So I believe with that, guys, Axe is going to go out. That brings us down to our final 8 teams. And Rowan ends up being taken down as well as his teammate. Those are going to go to Burn in Silence. They ended up getting third-partied as they tried to overextend right there to get the players for Team 21. I'm going to head back up to Meeseeks once again. Unfortunately, Zone has shifted away from these guys, but really they don't have too far of a rotation away. As you can see to the left-hand side, they will have to worry about Mark for Death, but they will be rotating directly into, I believe, Outplay Esports directly in front of us. But Zone may get a little lead over here on this side. Down goes another team. This now cuts our teams in half, so we went from 8 to 4 very quickly. I just noticed it says Nick out. So Mark for Death going to be rotating around the outside edge. They are going to be coming right into the open field, and Meeseeks is going to have no choice but to go ahead and take on this fight with Outplay Esports. And I believe it's all going to be down to Breezy. Hopefully he has enough heals to go ahead and outlast this zone. And I don't think Jess is going to get back up. So Breezy ends up trying to rotate in, land some good shots onto Scorpio, but I believe Red is going to go ahead and be right there to assist him. Ends up getting the knock and the thirst. So very nice job by Meeseeks tonight. Saw them with a bunch of good rotations and definitely got to quite a few final zones. So good work on their part tonight. So, guys, this is going to be it for our final 3 teams. We're looking at Mark for Death. They're going to be rocking a duo. On top of the hill, we're going to be looking at Outplay Esports. They have a trio still up, and Burn in Silence down here on the very edge of the hill. They're going to have a trio as well. So zone gonna be pushing these guys in. Outplay Esports does have the zone at the very top, so at least they do have a little bit of hard cover with the rocks, but two of their members going down almost instantly as soon as Burn and Silence comes in through the blue zone. Unfortunately, Radic ends up being knocked in the exchange, but that does give them the opportunity to go ahead and push forward. Out comes the nade, and that is going to force them away from the rock, and he does get red up in time. So Freeze coming out, gets the thirst, and we are now looking at a 2v2. Mark for Death could come in for the third party. So Omega coming out with a knock on to Freeze. And Scorpio ends up bleeding out. Really nothing he could do in that situation. So it's going to lie all on red right now for Outplay Esports. Does look like Freeze is going to try to crawl over there to get revived. And Burn and Silence is just kind of chilling, just waiting for somebody to make a move. And that nade's going to come out right in front of Omega. Or is it going to be? No, it's a smoke. They were trying to jinx him of giving away his position, but definitely made the good call on just standing his ground right there. So that nade's going to be coming from Easy. Definitely in the right location, but just was not far enough. And he's going to go ahead and get knocked right there by Chico. Omega ends up pushing forward, takes down Freeze, and Red gets taken down by Loki, I believe. And who ended up winning? I didn't see the end of it. So Burn and Silence ends up winning our final round tonight. Mark for Death going to take second, and Outplay Esports going to take third. So very nice job to all the teams tonight, guys. Thank you for all the participation. And sorry if I was a hard ass with all the bans tonight, but I feel like it has come down to that is the only way to get across to people to go ahead and try to get them in the game in time, as well as actually show up when they do sign up. I'm just honestly tired of playing games. If you're gonna sign up, please just show up. It makes everybody's life a lot easier. I end up not having to wait an extra 1 or 2 minutes. Definitely puts a bad spin on the scrims, making people constantly wait. So I know the feeling because I definitely get antsy sitting in scrim lobbies as well. So thank you for everybody that actually did everything appropriately tonight. And I do apologize for the ones that didn't. Hopefully next week they'll get it better. Some of these teams were fairly brand new to my scrims, so definitely understand if they don't know all the rules yet. So definitely recommend that they go on the Discord and read the rules channel. But other than that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the night, get some of my gameplay in. I'm going to go ahead and test out all my new recoils that I just did, and hopefully see you guys in scrims. If not, I will see you guys. I'm not sure when my next stream is, but definitely look out for it. Hit that follow button so you can get that notification when I do go live. Other than that, hope you guys all have a good night.